If your financial plan can't clearly answer these three questions, then it is incomplete. What happens to your income if you stop working? What happens to your family if something happens to you? And what happens to your wealth if the markets drop 30%? These three questions will provide you clarity as to whether or not you are on path. So let's take them one at a time. So what happens to your income if you stop working? Do you have savings set aside to bridge the gap between where you are right now and retirement? Or would you have to be forced to maybe take money out of retirement plans early, bearing penalty? As you are still saving, we need to rethink some of our priorities. Most people focus so much on their 401ks that they lose sight of having adequate reserves against what happens if you stop working. Second, what happens to your family if something happens to you? Unfortunately, in times of financial stress, many families drop life insurance, feel they don't need it anymore. They rely upon their employer's insurance. But what happens if you're not with that employer anymore? What happens if you pass away? Is it sufficient what you've got there? $1 million does not go as far as it used to, let alone a life insurance policy that says, as a group, we're going to pay you 1-2 times your payroll for your family. The third, what happens to your wealth if markets drop 30%? If we are in our prime savings years, well, we can usually weather that storm. We use dollar cost averaging in that situation to keep putting money into the market while it's down, to buy low, so later potentially sell high. But if you're on the verge or in that part of your life where you're actually using those funds to fuel your income in retirement, understand what happens if that bucket drops 30% in a given year. If you're taking money on top of that, if you're taking, call it 4% on top of that 30% just to support your lifestyle, you end up in a mathematical death spiral, a spiral that your portfolio simply cannot recover from. So think of that as a 3-question audit that you can run on your own plan. If you have any questions about any of your plan compared to those 3 questions, please give us a call at 614-408-0004.